Alright. Hello everyone. Good morning. It is, it's Tuesday, May 20th. Oh, I just minimized every application on my computer. Okay, there we go. It's a little bit of a different time slot than I usually go for. What was I gonna say? Fuck. I'm a little tired, because as I am a night shift worker now, I have not been up all night. I did take a little nap earlier. So I've gotten some rest, but I'm near the end of my day. Oh no. Yeah, I'm near the end of my day, so I'm a little tired, but we're gonna do a nice bit of reading before I go to bed. So we are going to be reading Soul of Sovereignty Prelude by GGDG of Cucumber Quest fame, if you're familiar with that old webcomic. I know very little about Soul of Sovereignty, despite having followed GG for basically the game's whole development. I know there's a man who knows a lot about flower magic. There is an evil jester, or maybe not evil is the right word. A strange jester woman who may or may not be evil. It is yet to be seen. I don't want the song. I don't want the song as our backing right now. And I know that a lot of people are quite excited about the story so far. We're not gonna waste too much time here. But I will say that this visual novel and stream are for mature audiences only. The itch.io page does say that this work includes. Did my mic stop working there? Oh my god, if it's doing this again. I did order, if the stuff in my mic gets really bad again, I did buy a new one. It's right behind me, I just haven't set it up yet. But yeah, this work depicts, this work contains depictions of violence, nudity, and sexual themes. So, keep that in mind. So, we are going to go on and get into it. Because I have D&D tonight and work. I do have to go into work tonight. So I would like some rest before then, but I would also like to read. Let me open the game. Hopefully it's not loud. We're gonna go... Oh, okay, we're gonna go no Fugi, no PNG tuber this time. I think it's more important to just focus on the work itself. then have my little brand on the screen at all times. Why is this trying to capture? What the fuck? Oh jeez, hold on. Let me just hide some stuff here. Do a little spring cleaning. All right. Keep it a little quiet. I think that should probably be good. Yeah. Oops. Okay, well. There are no choices in this visual novel. It is a purely linear experience, so. No need to worry about any of that. Oh, starting off with my favorite thing, unlabeled text boxes. Thought I told you to run, kiddo. What does it look like I'm doing? Getting caught. But hey, I get it. You've got a heart. That's what landed you in this mess, right? Sorry, kid. Really am. Wish there was more I could do for you. But both of us are out of options. So where are you gonna go? Where you said. Somewhere I can dream. Where I can be as selfish as I want to be. Only question is what to do when no place like that exists. But I'll figure something out. Notice the records you swiped from my office. You're not really going after it, are you? Thanks for the lead, old man. Maybe I'll see you in the next world. The Lamplight, part of Tarn. The first inn to become famous after the treasure hunting boom took off. A few decades ago, on a day like this, it would have been swarming with people. Tonight, there's only one customer. In a manner of speaking, anyway. I arrived a few months ago, needing a place to stay while I continued my search in the area. Alma's pride wouldn't let her take money from an old friend, but I eventually convinced her to accept my services instead. Since then, I've been helping her look after the guests here. Guests, yes. The village is sick and elderly, given shelter from the unkind weather, not customers. Most were once treasure hunters themselves, but the age for that ended too soon, before they'd found anything to build a life on. It's still a little loud, I think. Fine. There we go. Tonight's dinner could be charitably described as soup, or realistically as onion water. Most of our guests chose the latter. Though I normally try to encourage them to keep up healthy appetites, I couldn't blame them for the nearly full dishes I gathered this time. Alma's a terrific cook, really, but I doubt she sees much point in trying these days. I can't blame her either. The dining room is deserted, tabletops lined with dust, rugs trampled thin. The television is purely decorative now, with no signal to pick up since Tarn was cut off years ago. About the only glimmer of the past comes from the crackling fireplace, where explorers would have once crowded together, sharing stories. Gonna come down or what? Alma, the owner of the lamplight. She leans against the bar, smoking a cigarette. Oh, I didn't see you. You were seeing something. What? Don't say how badly you want me to clean this place up. No. Well, no, but... You really ought to consider selling the TV at least. It may be old, but it'll still work in the mosaic. Is that all? I know you know, Alma. It just caught my eye. I join her at the bar and set down the tray. Something hangs heavy in the air as we look over the empty room together. Instead, I decide to turn my gaze outside. The largest windows face away from the mosaic, out toward the promise of the new world. I've grown used to the view now, the towering shadows of mountains, empty homes scattered in the snow. Only tonight... Someone's coming. By the time I make it to the door, the visitor has collapsed in a heap at the threshold. Oh no. Give me a hand, would you? Yeah. Her breathing and pulse seem normal. She does look awfully pale, but I think she'll be alright. Oh. There we are. How are you feeling? Welcome, dear. Alma's old customer service voice. Been a while since I've heard that. Will you be needing a room, or maybe you're just here to dine with us tonight? Room? Then I've made it. This is the lamplight? The one and only, serving the spirit of discovery since... oh, thank goodness. I need your help. Great, another charity case. Don't be heartless, Alma. A decent meal is the very least we can offer. Yeah. As Alma trudges to the kitchen, I take a seat across from the stranger. You should know there's an emphasis on that decent. I wouldn't set my expectations too high if I were you. Oh, I'll be happy with anything. You're too kind. But we haven't even gotten to your problem. You said you needed help? The woman breathes a long, thin sigh. There's somewhere I need to get to. I heard this was a gathering place for treasure hunters, so I hoped one of them could escort me. But where are you headed? Do you know of a ruin near here called the Hollow Temple? Forget it. Oh, forget it. Alma emerges from the kitchen with a lukewarm cup of soup in her hand. She hands it off to the woman. Waste of a trip, honey. It's a short walk, sure, but the woods are infested. If you're not going to pay for a room, at least spare me from having to report your body to the shield. Alma. What? Better to be honest. I have to! I have to go. I saw it in a dream. The god of that temple visited me and said that if I prayed at the altar, I'd be cured. Hi, Sonny. It is very charming. Gigi's art style is so, like, so pleasing to the eye. Pallid woman is coughing, by the way. Oh. I've suffered from this illness all my life, and now I've finally been shown a cure. I have to go. And here I thought you came for treatment from the good doctor here. Well, suit yourself. You're a doctor? That's her idea of a joke. You'd be generous to call me a caretaker. I'm not sure how much my humble remedies could do for this illness of yours, but I'm more than willing to try. The woman softly shakes her head. And not one of them could help me. I know it must sound like nonsense, but that temple is my only hope. I see. Out of curiosity, have you ever heard how the so-called Hollow Temple got its name? No. There's nothing in it. Oh. For years, people were convinced there had to be some secret hidden path beneath the surface. But as it turns out, it's just an empty building. Sorry to say this, but without the promise of treasure, you'd have a hard time convincing any treasure hunters to make the trip, if you could find any here. Then, this is it for me. Hold on. I was going to say I'd be happy to go with you. You? I know, you were hoping for someone a bit more suited to the rigors of the road, let's say. Truth is, I've been meaning to visit that temple myself. Sooner or later, I'll be going either way, and I do intend to get there in one piece. One Piece! One Piece mention! And I do intend to get there in one piece, for what it's worth. Really? At the very least, we don't have anything to lose by going together. Safety in numbers and all. Oh. Listen, why don't... Oh. Wait, I'll go. That was fast? Are you sure? You're the first stranger who's offered to help me. If this is my only chance of making it to the temple, I have to take it. Let's not be strangers then. Loic. Ismay. Thank you, Loic. Tonight's clear skies are a rarity. Given the urgency of Ismay's plight, I'm not surprised that she wants to go right away. Besides, it's a short enough trip that we should be back before the next snowfall rolls in. And now you're off into the cold for this random girl. Why am I not surprised? She needs help, Alma. I'd like to think you'd do the same. Please, some of us know how to look out for ourselves first. You should try it sometime. Thanks for the concern. See you in the morning, alright? Okay, we can look at the cast now. If we so choose. In the beginning, the builder looked to the horizon and foresaw the death of the world. To preserve life, he raised a great tower, a new home for all humanity, the Mosaic. From the farthest reaches, he gathered every soul together in one most peaceful nation, a perfect refuge from the storm. Ages on, when all had stilled, the people of the Mosaic opened their gates to see what remained, and found a ruined land owned by no one. Thus did they set forth to pick clean the bones of the world they forgot. I remember hearing so many stories about the world outside the Mosaic. An endless expanse where the spirit of discovery soared on the wind, inviting the bold. Walking through this ghost town, I can't imagine it. When the first treasure hunters found this place, it was already in ruins. They built it up into a new town, only for it to shrivel into nothing again. All that wasted effort. Every little gust of wind sets the windows chattering in these ramshackle houses. But beyond all this, out in the mountains, I can almost hear the faint voice of my own personal spirit of discovery. Ismay, I hope this doesn't sound rude, but I wonder how that cloak will hold up against the cold. Oh, the temple's a straight shot from here, but we are going to have to walk it. Will you be alright? Yes. You say that, but you're suffering enough from your illness. Please, don't push yourself. Really, I'm fine. Eating something gave me the strength I needed, I think. If you insist. But now that I'm thinking about it, he removes one of the flowers pinned to the clasp on his collar. This is a Policia. In the language of flowers, it means fire. That's funny. Is it? I just thought flower language was, I don't know, unrequited love. Things like that. Most people know it that way. In this region, long ago, these flowers were common traveler's charms, meant to ease the cold. Just an old superstition, but it can't hurt. Here. And do you normally give these out? One way or another. Flowers are my business. I guess you could say some habits from the shop are hard to shake even on the road. So you're a florist? A superstitious one, it turns out. I hope I haven't put you off. Not at all. It's a kind thought, thank you. Even if the spirit of discovery is dead, the kindness of strangers apparently lives on. When our fingers brush, I feel warmth. And not just a faint touch, but a steady embrace that spreads comfortably over my skin. Let's be off. Ready? Oh, right. Hmm. For all my fussing over Ismay, I'm barely dressed for the cold myself. The snow is too thick for the middle of spring. Then again, any ideas about right or wrong with regard to the weather seem arbitrary. In my months at the lamplight, I've come to appreciate the cold. A sudden chill against my face feels refreshing when I know it isn't decided by committee. At such times, I think there are still treasures to be found outside the mosaic. Do those have a meaning too? My gaze follows Ismay's to a patch of weeds poking through the frost. Dandelions? Sure. Mundanity. That's a joke, right? Do you think so? If every flower has a meaning, some of them are bound to be less exciting than others. I suppose. We brace ourselves against a sudden wind. It's a good thing we set out tonight. This time tomorrow, I'll expect we'll have another blizzard on us. Thank you again, Loic. I didn't think you'd be willing to go so soon. I didn't think it could wait. Maybe not for me, but why were you planning to visit the temple? I'm curious considering it's hollow and all. Oh, did I not say? I'm going for the same reason as you. To be cured? But you seem perfectly healthy. An apple a day. But that's not quite what I mean. I'm not interested in investigating the temple itself so much as the local flora. I don't suppose you've heard of the glass bell? I'm sorry, I haven't. Perfectly understandable. The glass bell is a very peculiar flower, one said to be potent enough to cure any malady. Thank you. That's too good to be true? Maybe. It's never been seen. Only told of in old writings. Excuse me. If it does exist, it could grow anywhere, and so I searched everywhere. And who's it for? Let's not talk about that. In fact, enough about me. Tell me about yourself, Ismay. Huh? There isn't much to tell. I'm not very special. Come now, not many can say they've been called upon by a god. It's not something to brag about, especially at home. Not in his vision. Huh. No, I guess not. You're religious then? More my family. When she turns toward the ever-present pillar on the horizon, I can only imagine the expression that darkens her face. I grew up praying for the builder to cure me, but that wasn't in his vision. When my family learns I came this far, all at the word of a pagan god, I'll probably be disowned. But alive and well, we can always pick up the pieces from there, can't we? That's true. Alive and well. The words ring in my ears. To be honest, the cold didn't bother me at all. It never does. Now, though, I have real warmth to compare it to. Now I have a way out. A path to alive and well. And there's our temple. Can you see it? But the bridge is out. Oh, don't worry about that. It's been out of commission for months. The reason I put this trip off for so long, in fact. Is it ever going to be fixed? At this point, I wouldn't count on it. Putting aside the lack of interest, Tarn just doesn't have the means anymore. Oh. But we can take a detour. This way. We go off the path into the thick of the woods. I try to focus on what waits at the end of this hike, but in spite of myself, I keep thinking of that word the innkeeper used to describe this place. Infested. They say that when the old world died and the builder created his paradise for mankind, he let in 2 of every animal in nature. The rest were left behind as the clouds rolled in. Did you hear that? Unfortunately. You said you had a plan for dealing with monsters, didn't you? Did I? Didn't you? I remember saying that I meant to get to the temple in one piece, but a plan... I could certainly try to come up with something now if you like. Seems like that might be a good thing to do, yes. How fast can you run, do you think? Probably not very. On account of being deathly ill and all. Oh, right. Forgive me, that was thoughtless. Outside the safety of the mosaic, deadly rain came pouring from the skies. It ate through stone and steel, washing entire cities and nations away. But the animals caught in the flood changed. They trembled and twisted and came apart, then came back together the wrong way. And any creatures that didn't succumb were hunted by the ones that did. Shit! I wouldn't have wanted to cross paths with this thing when it was a normal wolf, let alone whatever the hell this tangle of limbs and mouths is. Once I start running, I don't look back. The trees are dense enough to slow it down a bit, but I can't carry on like this uphill. Ismay! The voice comes from behind. When I look, he's stopped next to a fallen tree, trying to shove it out of where it's lodged in the snow. Without a second thought, I double back. 1, 2. We strain against the trunk together, wild, heaving breaths close in. Then the weight shifts. Not much of a plan, but whatever works. Thank goodness. You know, Ismay, I was joking when I suggested we run, but I'm glad you took it as a challenge. I don't like thinking myself as an old man yet, but I could barely keep up. You know, when push comes to shove. Back at the lamplight, you seem to be struggling just to get through your story. Alma's cooking must be better than I give her credit for if it energizes you that much. Hold on. Hold on. Stop that. Did anyone else hear that? Did anyone see that? You know, all those vegetables. In onion soup. All those vegetable. That's a good one. His gaze is warm but intense. I should have known he saw through my act, maybe right from the start. Maybe my coughing could have been more realistic. Whatever. But he offered to help me anyway, and judging from the look on his face, the offer's still open. Fine, alright, I'm not sick, that was all bullshit. I had a feeling. But I needed help getting to the temple, and pity works. You were right, you know, I was hoping it would rope in more of a bodyguard. You haven't died yet, so I say you could have done worse. Now, what is it you're after at the temple? The greatest power in the world. I'm sure you know what I mean. The sovereignty. I've heard stories. then you know no one would have taken me seriously if I told them I was actually looking for it. And even if someone did, why would they help me find it? Convince me then. Why should I? Look. You have that miracle flower you're after, right? I'm guessing there's someone you want to save no matter what. Well, I have that too. The sovereignty is my one hope of a world worth living in. And what makes you certain in its place? There was a professor in the Mosaic who researched the legends. I read everything he wrote on the subject. There's no guarantee, but the temple was never totally ruled out as a lead. I want to see it for myself. And if you find nothing there, then what? Then I keep searching. Isn't that what you're doing? I have to explore every avenue. Maybe most treasure hunters have moved on, but I need this to be real. I'm sorry for lying to you, Loic, but I had to. The thoughtful florist. Ah, I think perhaps we've lingered too long. They howl, they scream, I don't stick around for another second. That fallen tree was a stroke of luck, and if it doesn't strike twice. But maybe there's some other way to slow them down. Just as I start looking around, my foot slips. I tumble into a patch of weeds before I even realize it. For a second I think I've been tackled, so I panic and scramble up against a nearby tree. But these creatures are more patient than that. It can't be every day they get entertainment like us. They close in, savoring their win, and I clench my eyes shut. And for some reason, despite everything, only for an instant, I feel calm. When I dare to look again, one of the things is too close. I see puffs of its breath as it leans in, sniffing at my face from every angle. Something about its attitude has changed. It's almost frustrated. Its eyes sear into mine for what feels like forever. Then it pulls away. One by one, the other beasts follow their leader back into the woods until the two of us are left alone. Are you all right? What the hell? I try to stand, but my useless ankle buckles under my weight. Shit! Easy, let me see. Worse than I thought. Might even be broken. I don't want to risk trying to put pressure on it again. So, what are the chances of you carrying me up the rest of the way? He smiles. Slim. Let's try something else. And there's something in his hand, a little notebook bound with string. He opens it and flips through the pages, passing what looks like dozens of pressed flowers. The yellow rose means mending, in short. In the mosaic, it's come to symbolize friendship, another case of the simplification that makes flower language easier to sell. He stops at a certain page and brushes his fingers against the dull, dry petals of a rose. I'm fond of that one, though. It's nice to think of a friendship as something that can be mended no matter how severe the break. As he goes on, the flower seems to come alive beneath his hand. I blink hard. I've got to be imagining it, but there it is, full and vibrant as the second it was picked. He returns his attention to me, and I notice the strange calm again. The air turns soft and heavy, as if warmed by his voice. Take heart. Not all things fall neatly into place, but this will. It just happens. My ankle is broken, and then it isn't. I pulled it closer to look. No wound, no bruise, nothing. And when I glance back at his notebook, the rose has completely withered away. I knew it. The flower you gave me when we left, that was magic too. They all are. Even those. He nods to a few dandelions poking through the frost, their petals scattered on the snow. Mundanity. But this is the sort of thing that's kept me busy in Tarn for the few months I've been there. I'm not a healer exactly, but I can manage enough to make myself useful. I've dealt with my fair share of difficulty in the mosaic, so I try not to be too forthcoming with the details. You said you come from a religious family, so I'm sure you understand. That's one way of putting it. Well, consider this a show of good faith. You've been kind enough to share your secret with me after all. How does it work? Oh, no, that conversation would take all night. Ask me back at the lamplight and I'll tell you all about it. Sure, that'll be nice. I need a sip. Hold on. For now, he helps me up to my feet, and I take a moment to shake the snow from my cloak. Diet Coke. The usual. Shall we? Flower glossary. Oh man, a fucking... a whole section for like flowers and their meanings and what they can be used for in magic. Hell yeah. Almighty God of language, lend us your eyes, and we will see the truth. Lend us your hands, and we will guard life. Lend us your tongue, and we will speak power. The temple is quiet and barren. Oh, this is the like perspective character. That's what this is. Okay. In other words, more or less what I expected. Yet stepping through the doors sends a chill through me all the same. More than anything, though, I can't see shit. One moment, I have just the thing. Another flower? No, let me. I brought a flashlight. Oh, wonderful. That's much more convenient. The Hollow Temple. Who is this? I guess the god of this place? Why the uncertainty? Don't you recognize them from your dream? Yeah. The people of Oxend were monotheists originally. Over time, various aspects of their god came to be worshipped as separate entities. This is Tenem, the aspect of truth. Traditionally, you're supposed to confess any acts of dishonesty before their image. Oh, sorry for pretending to be sick. But I already came clean about that, so I should be all squared away, right? I don't see why not. Really, it's more an encouragement to make amends with the people we've wronged. Let's have a look around. So what was this temple built for? Any ideas? Hard to say. The entrance is the only part that feels anything like a place of worship. When explorers found it, there were traps around every corner. It took years for the path to be opened even this far. You know a lot. Everyone needs a hobby, so I doubt I'm telling you anything you haven't read. I only cared about whether the sovereignty could be here. Didn't get too into the details. No? But this place was the talk of the tower for years. All the ancient discovery reports on TV. Maybe those were before your time. Maybe. You haven't missed much, then. At the end of all that fuss, they didn't find anything. You could say it put a damper on the whole treasure hunting craze. What, everyone gave up because one ruin turned out to be empty? There was a bit more to it than that, but essentially, yes. But I've done enough to lower your expectations, haven't I? Why don't we see for ourselves what they found? The central chamber is pure darkness, almost as though we stepped into a void. At least until Ismay's flashlight reveals the walls. Plain stone on every side. You know, I actually have my own theory about this place. Do tell. I think it's fake. This room most of all. What we're seeing doesn't exist. It's like a shared hallucination. That's certainly an interesting theory. But you can feel it, can't you? Something's off. My footsteps slow. You think it's some sort of illusion, then? Not quite. Illusions are new magic, the kind of trick any kid in the mosaic can do. This is something else, Something older. Like the magic you've been nice enough to like the magic you've been nice enough to demonstrate for me. You seem stumped. Well, let me tell you something else. I didn't put on the sick girl act for whatever random treasure hunter happened to feel sorry for me. I came here for you. Her voice slowly circles me in the darkness. You had a bit of a reputation back home, didn't you? The messenger. A normal little flower shop where people in the know could buy magic. I had my doubts, but you did away with those real quick. Couldn't resist showing off to a cute, helpless girl, I guess. And where did you hear all of this about me? I bring my hand to my chest, feeling for a familiar flower pinned there, touching upon a memory. Let's just say I had a reliable source. But I'm sick of talking, aren't you? Why don't we get down to business? I think that'll be a bit hard under these conditions, Ismay. Let's have some light. And there she is, her features shadowed by a velvety hood, a new cloak woven from nothing in the blink of an eye, still fresh and crackling with the energy of creation. This is artisanry, so-called new magic, but certainly no child's trick. See? The light I've summoned falls strangely on the floor, piercing more than the shadows. Your magic is the key. Even a little spark shows this place for what it really is. You can get me in. You already knew that, right? After all, you've been here before. I watch my reflection, fading in and out on the impossibly rippling stone. When I agreed to be your escort, it was in the hope of convincing you that there was nothing here. But I've badly underestimated you, Ismay. I see that now. So let me tell you the truth. This place fills me with dread. You're right. I've stood here before. I've stood here once before, many years ago. I felt the same then. I strongly believe that whatever sleeps here should never be woken, whether it's the sovereignty or anything worse. And now that I've done as I promised you, I think I should be on my way. I'm not eager to delve any further into the secrets of the past. Oh, that's fine. I'm not telling you to be eager. I'm telling you to do it. Holy shit! Holy fuck! She has a gun? The evil jester has a gun? He's really like, you know I always keep that thing on me. Now, let's stay calm. A shot rings out, searing my arm. I stumble to the floor. Did you not hear me? I said I'm sick of talking. I don't have all night. Well? Stop. Please, I'll do as you say. That's more like it. But let me ask one thing first. Why not? Go ahead. Who is the person you're hoping to save by doing all this? Save? Oh my god, you actually believe that stupid shit? Listen, you want to know who all this is for? Me. But you're free to keep thinking of the sovereignty as my dead wife flower if that makes you feel better. I see. Well, thank you for your honesty. The white dawn's eye. In simple terms, light. Coincidentally, the first flower I read for the man who brought me to this place. I was a boy, lured by stories of illuminating the past, recovering the lost knowledge of the old world. I lent my power to his cause. Then I saw what he was truly after, and I turned my back on him. At least he allowed me that. With some effort, I withdraw my notebook and let it fall open into my lap. If the sovereignty exists here, then it has eluded treasure hunters in the backyard of the mosaic for half a century. Yet only a surface reading of light was enough to shake its final line of defense. Why? A particular page stops me. The sight calls a hazy memory of Tanem to my mind. Not the statue at the entrance, but a smaller image displayed in a relative's home once upon a time. I remember the brilliant sun rose that was always placed in a dish of water before the god, to be ritually invoked as soon as it began to wilt. In flower language, the sun rose falls towards the esoteric end of the scale, its meaning significant only to the followers of a dead faith. It seems to say, only for our people, only for our children. Not for me, I think. You look like you have an idea. Certainly not for this woman. But I feel a deadly brush against the back of my neck as she urges me on. Share with the class. Pleasing my ancestors is beyond me at this point. Still, a useless apology flits through my mind before I turn towards the task at hand. At a simple acknowledgement, the dawn's eye opens to me, and I read. Where you walk, sight of fame, let truth not hide. Bit by bit, the enchantment begins to unravel, the room as we see it melting away. A rush of cold is the first sensation to tear through the veil. Fresh flecks of snow on our faces, clouds of warmth from our lips. Then the sound of trickling water. We stand in a courtyard. A fountain, blanketed with lilies in vivid shades of pink and blue. Ornate pillars on all sides inscribed with the words of the poet. This hollow temple is the most complete remnant of Aksend to survive into the modern world. But that isn't what I've been brought here for, is it? At the center of the pool stands a peculiar door. Otherworldly light issues forth as a deep, resonant voice envelops us. Children of the Creator, come. Without hesitation, Ismay drops her weapon to the floor and throws herself into the light. But what compels me to approach? I place my hand through the door, and a palpable shift in atmosphere sends me reeling as if from a burn. Somehow I can feel the massive distance that lies between this side and the other. How many adventurers' hands fell short in the years before this moment, and if what lies beyond really is the power to remake the world, then what have I done? This time I can't look away. I must steel myself and walk through, to a place built not by humans, not even by artisanry, a hall so pristine that every step feels almost improper, a realm divine. The Sovereign Hall. Honorable children of the Creator, you are welcome. At the end of the hall stands an altar guarded by a living statue. Its voice and manner are empty, and patches of feathers cover its body like ivy on a decaying building. From behind a winding scroll, the guardian's eyes seem to stare at nothing. You have come to the resting place of the sovereignty. I am its voice. The ruling sovereign has failed, and his world decays beyond salvation. But within you I sense the approach of a stronger vision. In reaching this place, you have proved your faith. Will you save this world? Ismay! The sight of the voice so arrested me that I nearly forgot to call out to her, but she flashes only a quick grin at me before turning back toward the altar. I will. Then you must be tested. Didn't you just say that I proved myself? In reaching this place, you have proved your faith. You must next prove your faith, the faith of your witness. For a reason I cannot comprehend, terror clutches my chest. Wait! With a swift motion, the winding scroll becomes rigid, sharp. The voice's hand finds Ismay's back to steady her, and the newly formed blade finds her heart. Her face remains contorted in shock as she slumps to the floor, clearly dead even before I rush thoughtlessly to her side. Ismay, oh God! But the voice watches me with unfeeling eyes. Why do you grieve? What? Do you not come as her witness? Say the prayer, and she will be reborn. I don't understand. What prayer? A binding of souls, a pledge to usher her unto the seat of the sovereignty at the cost of your freedom, the risk of your life. Will you do this? As if it's the simplest question. And she'll die otherwise? She has died. Already her soul slips away, drawn to rest. But say the prayer, and she will be reborn. I'll do it. Then speak the words. Restless soul by sovereignty mocked, to you I offer willing hands. Willing. To... The voice's steady tone begins to falter. No. No more of this. Not again. No more, no more! The serenity of the hall is shattered as the voice lets out a terrible cry. I catch a glimpse of its eyes shining with rage and fear. Begone! The spirit unfurls its wings, grants great banners of flame. I stagger back from the altar, my senses already muddled with the smell of smoke. I can't linger. And so I hurry away, down the stairs that twist and buckle violently beneath my feet. Through the gate, trampling the carpet of water lilies, through the halls of the temple, stumbling out into the cold. Suddenly there's a loud sound, a burst of flame at my back. Then nothing. Thank you for reading the demo version of Soul of Sovereignty Prelude. The story continues in the full version. Click here to visit the store page. Damn. Damn, wait. This shit's kinda crazy. I didn't know that, I knew that Ismay was a trickster and not to be trusted, but you know, this kind of like grand betrayal is quite entertaining indeed. Damn. So, my thoughts so far are fucking one, beautiful art, as expected of Gigi. Like, I didn't really read much of Cucumber Quest, but I did think it was, you know, visually quite appealing. And I've really enjoyed all the art for Soul of Sovereignty that I've seen on Tumblr and Blue Sky. But it really does have this, like, it's a very fitting style for what it is. Kind of soft, muted tones, heavy brushwork. It's really, really good. It's I like the art so far. The writing is, I like it. I don't think I have any negative points against it. And I'm having a lot of fun reading it. But I don't think I've quite seen enough to give like a proper judgment. Fucking god though, the twist of Ismay just pulling out a fucking gun though was crazy. I didn't expect that. I honestly, until the mention of the TV at the start, I didn't realize that there was like modern technology. I thought this was like your standard like low tech high fantasy setting. So that was quite a surprise. Um, been going just under an hour. I do need to sleep, but I'm like almost tempted to buy the next chapter and read that as well. My voice is a little I haven't done like long stretches of reading in a while. So my voice is a little rough right now. Even just from an hour of this. Um okay. Here's what we'll do. My next day off is Thursday. And I think what I will do is I will buy the next chapter tonight, and then on Thursday we will read that. Probably maybe a later stream on that one. Maybe Thursday evening instead of like a morning time slot like this. But I definitely want to get the full experience here. I'm really enjoying this, and I hope you guys are too. This is I like reading. I like reading on stream quite a bit. I've done like so much brainstorming that never went anywhere to like make streams where I just read long chunks of text. But none of them would have been particularly good. I would love to read another. I would love to read a novel on stream at some point, like just a full book. Because I a while back with my friend Castle, I read Terry Pratchett's Mort in the Discworld series, and that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. So maybe there's more reading streams in the future. Please keep an eye out. Please look forward to it. But yeah, I think a rather short stream. I did imagine this would be a shorter one, and was prepared for that already. But I need to go sleep and be ready for D&D and work later. So thank you for those of you that tuned in on this oddly scheduled stream. And I will see you on Thursday evening, perhaps. No promises, but perhaps on Thursday evening for the continuation of Soul of Sovereignty. Everyone have a wonderful day, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.